So, as I've mentioned, one of the key markers of sort of the evolution of the technology, the innovation, is really the focus of the central banks and the sort of regulatory bodies like the Financial Services Agency that's in Japan, or the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, right?
This QNT Project Agora is confirmed. This is from El Shrado, and I've said in previous videos I was going to dive into this because there's around a 2 to 3 minute video, or minute and a half, 2 minutes video that I wanted to really dive into for its own video, and that's what we're going to be doing in this one, guys. This is massive for QNT. This is very powerful things that is taking place in the QNT ecosystem and infrastructure for QNT. So I definitely suggest you guys watch until the end, share the video, like and subscribe. So participating central banks for Project Agora: Bank of France, representing the Euro system, the Bank of France; Bank of Japan, which recently Gilbert Verdien and the QNT team attended the GFTN, which is an event or conference in Japan that deals with finances, or the financial sector, traditional finance, corporations, enterprises, etc., and just the impact of that it'll have on the world. CBDC, central bank digital currencies, crypto, how it ties into this, stable coins, interoperability, programmability as well. And these are all the things that Quant delivers on. We even saw, Ripple attending as well, being a sponsor, one of the top sponsors, HBAR as well, right? So QNT is definitely in good company, rubbing shoulders with projects that have, that serious legitimacy to them, that are trying their best to collaborate, integrate, or disrupt traditional finance. We see the Bank of Korea as well, Bank of Mexico, Swiss National Bank, the Bank of England, Federal Reserve Bank of New York as well. I didn't even know the Bank of New York was a part of this. And FedNow, right? The Federal Reserve Bank of New York. So you see FedNow payments, for example. QNT will help with FedNow payments and CBDCs, as we've researched multiple times on these videos. These CBDCs are going to happen eventually. They'll be probably frictionless with stablecoins, and because of interoperability that QNT provides and Gilbert is building, this is where QNT's utility will shine, in my opinion, right? So Bank of England, self-explanatory as well. We've dived into that. QNT was added to the synchronization lab for the Bank of England, London Stock Exchange. There's many integrations here. Gilbert, the founder Gilbert has been, in talks or collaborating with, top heads in the banking sector in England, top industry leaders in the banking sector in England. So that is just self-explanatory there, right? Key private sector participants convened by the IIF, more than 40 financial firms, including major international banks, are participating. And I think this is convened by the LLF, my apologies. Or no, IIF, right? IIF, my apologies. So just to be clear with that. So banks: Banco Santander, BBVA, BNP Paribas, BNY, Citi, Credit Agricole, Deutsche Bank, which is massive, right? Deutsche Bank, very massive. Hana Bank, HSBC, ING, JP Morgan Chase, KB Cookman, Lloyds Banking Group, Mizuho, MUFG, NatWest, Shinhan Bank, SMBC, Standard Chartered, UBS, and Wells Fargo. All of these, in my opinion, are so massive for QNT. And look at all these integrations. How could you not be bullish here, right? And I'm not telling you, obviously, in every video, I'm never telling anyone to overinvest in any project, because if you take a look at the space, 90% of people don't make money in crypto, no matter how many years they spend in crypto. And even when they do make money, say they make 6 to 7 figures, there's always so many stories that they don't keep it, right? Because it's a very difficult space. So how do you mitigate that? How do you be better? How do you be successful at this space? Well, You manage risk. You take profits. You do what people tell you, right? Or people that have been experienced in the space. The advice, obviously, it's not financial advice, but the mistakes. They tell you their mistakes, and you just do your best to learn from their mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes, right? For example, with QNT, I'm never telling anyone to overinvest. I just said, 10 QNT is a good investment to make. You don't have, overexposure, so it's an amount, because obviously nothing in crypto is guaranteed, guys. A lot of people in my replies or comment section say, oh, QNT is a dead project. Gilbert, the founder, is a scammer. Get out of the project. It's going to zero, etc. But that's the risk that you have to take. You have to take the asymmetric bet. You have to take the asymmetric bet if you want to be successful. There's rain happening, guys. I know you hear that. My apologies. But with taking the asymmetric bet, the smartest thing to do, if the project is, if people are speculating this project is not going to go anywhere, well, that means just invest an amount that's not going to put you in debt or put you into financial ruin if you lose that amount. That's why the best analysts or the best traders, investors from the first time I entered into crypto have said, never invest an amount. Always invest an amount that you're willing to lose. Don't invest an amount that you're not willing to lose, right? If you have rent to pay or mortgage payments, etc., don't invest that amount. Invest money that you have on the sideline that you're willing to save, that you have saved and willing to take a risk with. 5% of your paycheck, right? Or you DCA 5% of your paycheck. This is an amount I'm willing to, instead of spending this money on lavish things, or instead of buying the lavish clothing or some type of luxury, I'm gonna use this extra money that I have to invest. And that's where you take that risk. And if you're wrong, it's an amount that's not going to put you into financial ruin, not going to make you homeless or anything like that. It's an amount that you could make back, right? If you have an honest living, hustle, etc. And if you're right, if you are correct in your investment, you see $1,000 to $3,000 QNT, $1,500 QNT in the future. Now that 10 QNT for less than $700 is $10,000 to $15,000. I think that is fantastic upside, right? I think that is great ROI. That's money that you did not have, and a lot more money than you did not have. Now, obviously, there's people that have taken way more risk and way more overinvested, but don't compare yourself to those people. Compare yourself to yourself. Comparison is a thief of joy, right? Take the crypto space like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger has done in the stock market. Take it one step at a time. Be successful. Be more profitable. Be more profitable than the 90% of people in the space. Look for profit. Become more profitable. Stack those wins, even if they're small wins. Stack them and compound them over the course of the long term with the space. And that's how you win. That's how you be in the 10% of successful people in this space. So let's dive into the video here. This is Elena Russ speaking. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I guess final question, and then we'll wrap up. But
Chris Skinner as well.
there's lots of projects going on, from the things we see from Swift to the project Agora, for example, from BIS.
Yes.
Are you involved in all of those, or are you independent of all of those?
We are involved in those. So one of the so we are involved in multiple programs. I mean, the Bank of England Synchronization Lab. This is key because this will fundamentally change kind of like payments going forward, right? This is game changing from a financial infrastructure perspective. We are involved with the European Central Bank as well as we are involved with the Bank of Japan. So as I've mentioned, one of the key markers of sort of the evolution of the technology, the innovation, is really the focus of the central banks and the sort of regulatory bodies like the Financial Services Agency that's in Japan, or the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, right?
This is Lena Russ, or Lena, part of the Quant team, letting you guys know, hey, we are involved with the Bank of Japan, the Bank of England, the London Stock Exchange, and all of these different massive enterprises. And like we've been saying on the channel, Lena thinks as well that this is where the change of the financial system as we know it fundamentally changes, right? And to be a part of that before anyone else takes notice is such a amazing position to be in. And like I in my opinion, like, it's unreal, and there's, you know, the space and position that we're in thanks to crypto, and with projects like this that are proving, hey, crypto isn't just pump and dumps. Here is value and utility. I know it's more boring than buying a meme coin, but this is what you want to see for, you know, projects in the space to achieve extremely successful valuations like you see in the stock market, like the Nvidias and the Metas and the Amazons and of the world, the Teslas of the world, right? This is what you want to see in the space.
In the UK, right? So we are actually working with not just commercial banks and consortiums, but we are also working very actively with...
Okay, that was a minute-long video. El Trado, if you see this video, see my video, definitely have to try to post a full video as well on X, or, you know, point to the to where the video is from, so I could take a look at the full one as well. But again, that's all you really needed to see, right? We get to the point on the channel, and I think that's extremely bullish for Quant, for QNT. So once again, from El Trado here, no one else has partnered a patented Layer 2.5 multi-ledger rollup that fuses public permissionless liquidity with enterprise permission security in one layer. Fusion isn't competing in the interoperability game. It's inventing a new category where everything else becomes obsolete. This is the infrastructure play of the decade. Quiet, patented, enterprise validated, and scarcity loaded. Mainnet momentum building, staking deepening, and institutional pilots turning production. I'm telling you guys, this is crazy stuff. Great work to see. This is what you want to see out of a project. So QNT right now sitting at just under $68, having a bit of a bounce with the overall macro of the market. That's what you, a lot of people are still speculating here that, see, we're entering into neutral out of the fear and greed index. A lot of people are speculating we get to 80K Bitcoin, and then we have the final move to the downside, right? That's what a lot of people are speculating. So when it looks like we're going to get into fear, we're going to get into greed, or maybe a bit of extreme greed anywhere in those levels. So maybe that would be a good time to take just a tiny bit of profits, right? And if we do roll over, those tiny profits that you take, you could reinvest if we do have a rollover. And even if we do continue higher, you already took a tiny bit of profits, maybe 10%, 15, 20% of profits from your holdings. And then, you know, if we continue up from that 80K, break through 80K and just go for a new all-time high or something, I don't know, something extremely bullish happens for the market, you still have exposure, right? So we're, you know, I'll keep you guys updated on QNT as best I can. QNT sitting at just under $821 million in market cap. Past month, we're past 24 hours, we're up a few percentages here. So it's great to see. As always, guys, none of this is financial advice. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Nothing I say is financial advice. Have to write that home. Subscribe to my Clips channel. Follow me on X. Enjoy my Discord. All linked in the description as well. It really helps out if you support those links, guys. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the